Hello, my creative friends, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Prompt. This is the optional viewing Sunday episode, which is my personal vlog entry to give myself something in the future to look back on, to remember the journey and remember how I was feeling through the journey, sort of take all of this and make it a bit personal. So this is very much optional viewing if you are watching along in real time, or you're binge watching to somehow try to catch up from the hundreds and hundreds of hours that will inevitably be here on this series. Anything that I cover in this, anything that I touch upon that I think is really teachable and something that I think you need to know, I will find a way to weave into future episodes. So this is actually optional viewing. That said, I do actually feel like, and by the way, I'm not looking at notes or anything, I'm just averting my eyes. That said, I find that I'm super excited about how things are progressing. And a lot has sort of come together for me this week and made me see, I guess really the specialness of this. A couple of things occurred to me, and this may sound a little bit self-aggrandizing. If you're watching this at the time that I'm making this stuff, it may seem a bit grandiose, but it has occurred to me, what occurred to me this week, this is week 3, by the way, of doing this daily vlog. And what has occurred to me is that this daily vlog is going to be, I was going to say has the potential to become, but I'm going to double down and say it is going to be the most valuable resource for screenwriters on earth. It occurred to me that if I actually achieve what I'm set out to achieve, which is build an independent film studio and make multiple films each year, sort of do that from the producer's perspective while teaching writers every step of the way, where you watch me go through this journey of building this thing, there will be no better resource out there because you will be able to, in the future, watch the entire journey and be able to see how it's built and immediately be able to replicate it if you want to. There's nothing like that. I don't know. I got really excited about that this week, and it made me, not that I wasn't ever at any point not resolved to being in this for the long haul, but it made me really realize that, no, I'm in this for the long haul, that I'm going to build this thing one way or another. I fully expect for this to be, I fully expect to have a lot of challenges and obstacles along the way. So since starting this, I'll be totally honest with you. When I first started this vlog, at the introduction to, or the teaser, if you go to the playlist on YouTube and watch the very first video, well, what I was thinking at that time was, I'm going to make this vlog. It's going to be really good. It's going to show people what I'm about. It's going to show people what they think. I'm not going to pitch fast at all, because it's not about pitching fast. It really is not. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, people are going to like it enough, and then they're going to join fast, or at least a few will join fast, and so it'll be good for fast. And what I'm realizing along the way is that it really, honestly, doesn't make any difference if anybody joins fast from this. So far, to this point, there have been 2 people who've watched the videos, and we're at the end of the month. So this is week 3, episode number 21. And 2 people have seen what this is, fully got, oh, I got to be a part of that, and joined. And I thought, I was sure that there would be more than that at this point. And something occurred to me this week, which is, if no one else does, it doesn't matter, because what I'm going to do is do it myself. My first movie that I make may suck, because I'm not working with people who've mastered the process yet. The initial writers' room group that I'm working with on about four to five different projects that are getting developed now, those writers, and if you guys are watching, there's not meant disrespectfully, but even those writers have not mastered the process. So we're sort of starting behind the 8 ball anyway. But you know what? That's okay, because here's what makes even that beneficial to this daily prompt thing is if you watch me go through the pain of doing it poorly or doing it wrong, then that will be this sort of meta learning experience to then improve. So as we go through the series, you'll watch the improvement along the way. So there's really no way to fail at this unless I quit, which ironically is my core message to writers. There's no way to fail unless you quit. So I'm super excited about it because it means that all I have to do is keep moving forward. It genuinely does not matter if anyone joins, which depressed me initially because look, the fast is what pays for this. I don't take a salary from it, but the costs that we have in doing things come from people joining fast. So obviously I would love for people to join fast, but I was thinking a bit wrong, I think, about the maybe motivation for doing this, right? Of course, there's a part of me that wants you to join it, but not because I want to get your money. It's because I want you to go through that process. I know that every time I talk about fast, people tune out and they think they're being sold to, and so I haven't done that. But I think there still has been to this point, well, not to this point, even earlier this week, this sort of, I don't know, notion that like, I don't know, it's like if you have an intention to do something, right? And you want to do a thing and you go and you pursue that thing. If what you really want, subliminally even, is something slightly different, so you're doing it for kind of false motives, then I think that comes through. I think that emanates in what you present. I don't know, there's this weird meta level to all this where it's like, even just talking about it, even just bringing it to light, does it make it all kind of dubious or whatever? I guess the thing that I came away with during week 3 is that it genuinely doesn't matter. In some ways, it's maybe even better if people don't join, so that I'm forced to do this as bootstrappy as possible. Like, my goal to build the independent film studio has always been to build it from the ground up. I never wanted to go out and try to like get $1 million to make a film or even spread it among 3 films and start making. I never wanted to do it that way because then you're always beholden to somebody else. I wanted to demonstrate on principle that we could literally start with nothing. Now, originally, the plan was that people get excited about fast and they see the value of fast and they understand what it is. And so even though it's priced as low as we possibly can, it becomes like a sort of a fund from which you can then make those projects. But you know what? When I decided to do this vlog series, I said, or the writer's room first, and then this vlog series to document the writer's room thing, I said, I got to strip it even all the way back, because if I can strip it back to making movies with no money at all, if I can strip it all the way back to you, wherever you are on the planet, can go out and make a movie for $0, or you can team up with producers, actors, directors in your local community and make movies for no money at all. If I can show you how I do that, then you can see how I do that, then all of a sudden I've taken away all of your excuses. I've taken away all of your excuses to follow through, to take action, to write, to get better at the craft, right? If 1,000 people, right now we don't have 1,000 people watching the show, but if we have 1,000 people watching the show at some point and 1,000 people go out and make movies, what's going to happen? You're going to have 1,000 people trying to get eyeballs of audience. So what's going to happen is the more films get made, and I'll probably end up talking about this in an upcoming video, but because this is actually a good point, and I don't want people who are skipping these episodes to miss it. But if the more movies are made, the higher the caliber of movie we need to make, even at that lower budget level, right? So in order to get noticed, in order to attract an audience and all that stuff. So where was I going with that? ultimately, it doesn't, look, I don't know where I was going with that. Ultimately, I'll watch it back and I'll be like, oh yeah, this is the other problem that I've noticed with doing the daily vlog thing. Like I have the idea, I don't, because time is limited, I'm trying to do like an episode each day, and it's like trying to squeeze it in and trying to finish it and get it ready and upload and digitize and all that kind of stuff. And it's just, it takes a chunk of time. So like I need to do them quickly. And so I have an idea for the episode, and then I want to sort of spontaneously do it and then get it out there and put it up there. As soon as I do that, I put it up and I'm like, I should have said this. I should have said that. Or you see some comments and it's like they're talking about, that's because of this detail. So that's really interesting. But I think the cool thing about the daily vlog thing is that I can further expand on the idea in the next episode. Now, what we're doing initially in these first couple of weeks is really setting the context, sort of creating the big picture, showing you sort of, I said in one of the comments this week of it's what I do, what I have been trying to do is too complex and too big to be able to distill into a single thing. I try to say I'm building an independent film studio and taking you along for the ride. That's my distillation of what I'm doing. But really, that doesn't even scratch the surface. Like if you could understand and appreciate just how much like story is everything in our world. If you understand the principles and the dynamics of story, it affects everything. But I can't do that all in one episode. So once I'm done with this context and this, I'm really excited about getting to the point where I can put something out, see what the reaction is, and then expand upon it the next day and sort of keep going like that. So, I'm really excited about where things are. I'm really excited about what this is going to lead to. And it has occurred to me and really just hit home that, if I can build, I'll put the caveat in there, if I can build what I'm setting out to build, this will ultimately, in retrospect, be the most valuable thing in this space. And the truth is, I'm not going to quit. Like, this is my passion. This is my life. This is what I want to do with my years on Earth. So it's like, it's very cool. What's a little surprising to me, I don't know if it's surprising even really, but is the I see the view numbers, and at the moment the view numbers are super low. They're like a couple hundred views or something per video. So thank you to you guys who are actually watching it. People watching in the future, like, it started out so slow. Like, it's amazing to me, though, the number of people watching versus the number of people commenting. And I think there's so much passivity. I don't know. Or there's this reluctance to get involved. I don't know what it is, but it's, I might have talked about this already in another video, but it's hitting me more and hitting me deeper as we go along. Just that disparity. Something that I've always said to writers along the way is that 99% of people quit along the way. And what I do, what I teach, what I built is not about information. It's not about giving you information each day. It's about giving you an experience. It's about I believe that we learn by doing. And so so for people to watch my video, nod, and move on to the next video is I would say it's like devastatingly frustrating, but ultimately at the end of the day, I know that that's the way that it is now. And as I'm starting to watch the vlog unfold, and I'm starting to see what those numbers, so like in the first maybe 4 hours or something, there's like 80 people or something that will watch it, or I get like 80 views on the video in like a 4-hour span. And there's like 5 comments, something like that. And it's like, what are those other people doing? Are they hate watching? Which is cool. By the way, if you're hate watching, shout out. But what are they doing, right? So like, are they taking action? Are they stopping? Is there something they don't like about it? They're not telling me, so I can't help them. I would love to be able to, but it's very sort of perplexing to me. ultimately, that though, looking at that, understanding that, seeing that every single day is just so reinforcing to my core message, which is, that people don't follow through, and that's the reason people don't succeed, because they just don't do it. They want info. Everybody's an info squid. I'm going to totally make a video about this at some point. People are about the information. They think there's a secret. They think that there's a trick. They think that there's a tool or a technique, that if they only had that one thing, if they only knew how to contact the producer, everything would be different for them. It's not. There's no one thing. It's all the things. Like, this is episode 21. And even if you don't count the personal vlog entries, I haven't even laid out the whole context yet, and it's been 20 episodes. It's like, anyway, I have a video in mind for a couple videos from now, which will address some of that stuff. So I don't want to go too much into that. Anyway, it's really about sort of talking to myself in the future, and what I would say self in the future is that first of all, every week I'm getting more and more convinced that this is the right thing to do. This is the way to do this. That this will succeed. And more it's because I have an endless well of stuff to put out to people. I said at the beginning, and I'll probably reiterate at some point soon, that I think there's, I've got 5 to 10 years worth of content for this show already, just sitting there. I think that could possibly turn into just an ongoing thing, because I'm learning something new every single day. Like, there's like this worry that, like, oh, I'm going to run out of things to say. And like, the further I get into this, the more I'm like, nope, I'm not going to run out of things to say. I might end up sort of repeating the same message in different ways, basically take action, but I'm not going to run out of things to say. And that's super exciting. I'm less and less worried about what people think. When I first started, because of that, maybe like back of my mind, I'm really hoping people will join Fast Screenplay to help me, grow and build this thing. I think a byproduct of that no longer being a concern, I think I'm going to feel less embarrassed. No, it's not really embarrassed. Less hesitant to talk about Fast, because honestly, I don't care if people join or not. I really don't. Like, I do, but I don't, because at the end of the day, understanding what I built and why I built it and why it's relevant to this show here is part of it. And there are going to be people that watch this and hate me, don't want me to talk about anything that has a price tag associated with it, and think I'm some sort of shady dude anyway. So haters be hating. What's that phrase? I'm too old for those kind of for that kind of jargon. So I guess I don't know how long am I going. I don't want to belabor the point. I just think that because I'm not as concerned anymore about that, because I actually crystal clear see how to build what I'm trying to build, even if no one joins me on the journey. I see how to build it, and I know that it's going to work. This is another thing that I wanted to say. I almost forgot. Also this week, a couple things happened. In the writers' room group, we didn't make quite the headway that I was hoping that we would make based on how excited I was the previous week. But here's the thing about doing this each day is all of the stray ideas are always working in our creative subconscious. Like, this is one of my core ideas. Let me know in comments if I haven't been specific enough about this up to this point. But really, we all have, this creative subconscious going in the background. And the more things we take in and the more experiences we have, the more our brain just sort of churns it all over. As I'm doing this daily vlog and as I'm dealing with the writer's room and they're not making the progress that I wanted them to make this week, not overall, but this week, and the frustration with comments or low viewership. I haven't yet had a chance to build the social media, whatever. All these things are sort of happening in the background. So I've had this idea for this movie that I'm going to make in the absence of another project being ready. And one of the most awesome things about this week is that bang, the idea came together. And it in part came together simply because I was just sitting there and thinking about, I had a brief conversation with someone who reached out to me from the vlog privately, threw some ideas back and forth with me. And I went, you know what, the idea didn't come from what he had given me, but what he said jogged a couple other things that have been bouncing around. And I just went, bang, I know exactly what the first movie is going to be. Not exactly, but I know what the first movie is going to be. I know what the story is essentially going to be saying. I know that I'm going to be spearheading it, and I'm going to make it for very little, if not $0, to prove that it can be done, to show to show the audience how to go through this process and actually bootstrap. And it made me so excited for the rest of it, because I thought if I go out and I just make a film, even if that film bombs, even if that film sucks, I'm showing you the challenge of I don't have the writers. I need you to write. You know, a lot of people, I've had a lot of people over the years say like, well, if you're so good at all this stuff, why don't you write your own movies? And it's like, there's a big difference between going out and writing my own movies and building an independent film studio. There's no way that I can personally write and produce and make and distribute 50 films a year. I can't do that. That's not possible. So I had to build this mechanism, right? I could possibly go out and do one, maybe two, depends on how much quality I'm going to put into it. The more you make, the less it's going to be. So I needed to get so I'm focused on helping other writers get there. So I'm not focused on sort of maximizing my own skills, right? So I think I'm a relatively good storyteller. I think I write pretty well. I'm out of practice. I haven't done it for a long time because I've been teaching writers for a very long time. So, but that's not an excuse. And so by focusing on my project, I can put out what ultimately is perhaps possibly crap, a piece of garbage, right? But if I can still show you how even that can succeed or can help us to build, that we can grow out of that, then I'm still showing you or the writers who watch this the journey itself. So I don't know if this is really even making sense, but it's making sense to me, and it's just going to make sense to me watching it back. That's why this is optional viewing. So anyway, so I guess to sum up, at the end of week 3, yeah, time to sum up. At the end of week 3, I would say that I'm like twice as excited as I was last week. Like it's growing. It's getting more and more exciting. I'm looking forward to sort of launching the social media stuff this coming week. Haven't had a time this past week. I want to get to the point where we're just putting out lots and lots of content, trying to get people excited about building this audience, because ultimately, I think if you go with me on this journey, you will benefit just from going along this journey, whether you go any further, whether you join me on the journey, whether you take action yourself, it's still gonna start to sink in. So I'm excited about building all that. I know the story that I want to create now, and we'll probably spend about the next 3 to 4 weeks trying to nut it out. Might be working with one of the writers in the writer's room, maybe with some other people that are outside of the writer's room, and just start building it. I've got meetings this week with a composer friend to discuss that. Another one with another film industry friend about how we can sort of synergistically move forward and build this whole thing. It's just I'm seeing how things are going to come together even more clearly. It's almost like I started out with the loose outline of what the plan might be and sort of the vague goal, and as I'm moving forward, it's like an out of focus lens that's just coming more and more into focus. It's obviously not all the details yet, but that, I think, is the beauty of all of this, is just the fact that the details are getting sharper and sharper the further I go, which just makes me convinced all the more that my general thesis is correct. So I kind of feel bad for people that are watching along the journey in real time and not taking action and not like following through with this stuff, because I really do think they're gonna look back on it and wish they had. But you can't. I've learned long ago that you can't. You can't make the thing that I always used to say is, I can create the path for you, but I can't take it for you. You're the one that has to take it. So, as much as I can put it out there and want people to take action and follow through, I can't control your actions. I can't control somebody else's journey, nor do I want to. I'm here for my journey and to help as many people who want the help, but ultimately that's their call. So it's freeing to start seeing it that way, to really understand more deeply and more profoundly and more specifically the reality of that. That's I think that's where I'm at the end of week 3. That's the value that I'm sort of really getting out of it. I saw a couple of videos this week where people did like a talk to camera, and then at the end they do sort of like bloopers and stuff like that. I want to have a little bit more fun with this. I really can't wait until somebody goes, "I love what you're doing, Jeff. I want to be your videographer and I want to make your videos for you," and build up my sort of credentials that way, and then we can go out and have a lot more fun with this series. I have more ideas than you can imagine for how to make this ever better for you. So I'm one guy, so I do the best I can as one guy. As we move forward and I become a team, and that team grows and builds and expands, we're gonna change everything. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you didn't, honestly, you don't have to watch these Sunday ones anymore. I know I'm rambling a little bit, but it's kind of what Sundays are about for me. So, anyway, thank you for watching. If you have watched this, if you haven't, please definitely join us tomorrow, because, or if you have, I guess you wouldn't know if you're not watching this. How would you know that I'm telling you to watch tomorrow? Anyway, if you're watching this, watch tomorrow, because we get back into the actual normal daily prompts. And tomorrow, I think, is the end of those 7 phases, which is actually the first phase, which sort of snaps the reverse engineering of it all together. And then the video after that is probably I'm going to sort of show you how it all ties together and see some of the lessons that come out of that. I basically just want you to understand the framework of the process itself. So I think we've got a bunch of really good videos ahead this week, and whatever you do, take action. This is you can you can just let this stuff wash over you, or be entertained or inspired or whatever by it. But if you don't take action, you're still, that goal is still that much further into the future. So whatever you do, take some action. Follow through and have fun with it, because it's fun. And I have other things that I want to share with you, but I'll share them with you next week or in a future one of these personal vlog entries, because I'm still sort of, I want the point to be sharper. Anyway, it's coming together, and I think it's coming together nicely. So thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.